Good evening, race fans, and welcome here to the Thompson Speedway in Thompson, Connecticut for round number 4 of the Coffee Cup Racing League's Espresso Super Series. Here tonight, I am the boss man, Al Smith, up in the booth here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and we welcome you in to some high-bank, high-speed action coming at you in the form of the super late models here tonight at Thompson Speedway. We got a stacked field of cars coming at you. 16 have signed in to do battle here tonight for you and put on a heck of a show at the Thompson Speedway. Let's take a look at the information here tonight, as it is Fan Appreciation Night presented by the Empire Racing Team. And we are here, like I said, at Thompson, and the weather is perfect. 64 degrees with 56% humidity, overcast skies, and the track a cool 66 degrees. Last week it was Hall Sheet Metal Night, and it was Joe Schaefer that picked up the win, Bill Martin second, and Matt Votty rounding out your top 3. And I can tell you that there is a lot of excitement that's going to happen here tonight in tonight's racing events here tonight at the Thompson Speedway as we get ready to go with some action. The car is going to roll back off pit road to finish up their practice sessions here tonight. And as they do that, we will get you through what to expect here tonight. We're going to see that top side to be dominant, and that is a key characteristic of the Thompson Speedway. And that will be providing a lot of great racing. We hope that you are tuned on in, ready to see some great action here tonight. But before we get going, we are about 2 minutes or less from away. We're going to step away. We'll be right back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the Espresso Coffee Cup Super Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Thompson International Speedway here in Thompson, Connecticut, as the Coffee Cup Espresso Series gets ready to go racing here tonight, as they bring you the Empire Racing Team Fan Appreciation Night. Everybody was giving out a Darth Vader coffee mug here tonight for all the fans in attendance at the virtual Thompson Speedway. And let's take a look at Your point standings coming into tonight's here, presented by Hall Sheet Metal. It is your Bill Martin atop the championship standing. AJ Hamill just there off the back bumper of him. In second spot, Joe Schaefer, Matt Body, and Matt Eddy rounding out your top 5 just after 3 short weeks of the Espresso Super Series here tonight. Well, the grid is starting to form up on the front stretch, and this is what your starting lineup will look like here, presented by Empire Racing Team. And it is the driver out of Tennessee in the car number 22. It is Mike Holtzclaw on the pole. To his outside, the driver out of Ohio. This is Jeremy Watkins in car number 71. Starting on the inside of row number 2 will be car 02. This is John McIntyre. And outside of him, off his right elbow, will be the car number 8. This is Andy Lambert in car number 8. Starting on the inside of row number 3 will be car number 81. That is Jimmy McIntyre. To his outside will be Matt Eddy in car number 88. Starting on the inside of row number 4 will be the 45, the driver out of Wilton, New York. This is Justin Smith. And outside of him, he finished third 1 week ago in car number 7. This is Matt Body in car number 7. Starting tonight will be the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. and that Epic Media sponsored number 6. And to his outside will be the decals by Dillon. Car number 26 of Kevin Dillon. Travis Wright will start 11th, and outside of him, the Empire Racing Team number 18 of AJ Hamill. Starting 13th will be Doug Wasaki in the Falcon Motorsports number 34. And to his outside will be car number 52 of Jeff Dillon. Bill Martin and Craig Tilley round out your 16-car field as we get ready to go racing here tonight. The pace car down and away. The field in the hands of Mike Holtzclaw as they come off of turn number 4 for the first time here tonight. Green flag is up and we are underway, and Holtzclaw falling to the back down to the turn number 1. Johnny McIntyre is going to move it to the inside, but the outside line going to hold court is now the 71 of Watkins. He has to check up. That checks up the outside down to the turn number 1. Now off of turn number 4, lap 1 going to go into the books here, and it will be McIntyre spinning down the front stretch. Do not believe anybody else involved, but the 02 Miller Lite will slip on some suds off of turn number 4. And we are under yellow flag here tonight for the very first time as the dark side brings out the yellow flag. Let's take a look at what happened to Johnny McIntyre down there off of turn number 1. See him working on the inside. Just looks like he got back in the gas a little bit too much, and the car just slid the rear end out from underneath him. Everybody doing a good job not to get involved. Let's watch it one time more back from the driver camera, brought to you by Misfit Motorsports. You can hear the rear tires just lighted up off of turn number 4, and that is very easy to do in these high-powered, lightweight, super late models. As we come back to line picture, McIntyre going to regain at the back of the field, a self-spin here underneath our first yellow flag off of turn number 4. So up at the front, it'll be Jeremy Watkins. He was your race leader. He has come down pit road. So issues on pit road, down on pit road for the 71 of Watkins. He is down there, the crew working on it. So they'll get him back out. So they'll give the race lead to the driver out of Krogan, New York in the Eddie's Meat Market. Number 81, this is Jimmy McIntyre. Jimmy's had a solid start to the season. He's had 2 top 10s, and he sits 8th in the standings. Coming in here to tonight, outside of him is the Black Rifle Coffee Priority Auto driver out of Vermont here. It is the 8 Vermont of Andy Lambert, as he is up on the outside of the front row. Sitting third is the driver of the number 88. This is Matt Eddy out of Sanford, Michigan, in the Howe Racing Eddy Performance Solutions car number 88. A very sharply painted automobile out there Eddie always has some great looking race cars, and the driver will slide into his outside now. Well, with the unsponsored number 45, that is Justin Smith, driving for Smith Racing Incorporated. He will start on the outside of that number 2 row as the field paces behind the base car for the final time. We're going to go back green flag racing, this time off of turn number 4. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight on Empire Racing Night as Jimmy McNair slams the gas pedal. He is a good go down here to turn number 1. McIntyre, no, here comes Lambert. Lambert rides the outside, the preferred groove around turn number 2. He pulls even with McIntyre down the back stretch. Lambert to the race lead as they enter turn number 3. A little bit of a lockup body, yet almost on the backside of the 88 of Matt Eddy as they work behind here. So now Justin Smith moves a second. And here comes the 6 of Schaefer. Schaefer Jr. working the outside. They are 3 wide for the moment down the back stretch. They get it all settled out to 2x2 as they enter turn number 3. That got real hairy for a second as they work off turn number 4. Put lap 8 it is still Lambert out front. Smith and Schaefer. Kevin Dillon now moves into that number 4 spot as the 81 of McIntyre cannot get cleared up. He should be able to do now is now Hamill will throw it in deep on the outside. He's got the car up on the edges of the scissors off of turn number 4. AJ Hamill making a steady move to the front. He started back in the 12th position. Now up the bank, and he'll let the 39 of Martin by body as well. And here comes the Washington Capitals sponsor number 52 of Jeff Dillon. Dillon back in the seat after some time off due to a racing injury. Good to see the 52 back out here on the racetrack, mixing it up here as he rides in that 10th position as Andy Lambert shows the way. But look right there now, the number 6 of Joe Schaefer starting to come back into the picture as we got a side-by-side battle. Down here in turn number 3 is the number 26 of Dillon. We'll get underneath the 45 of Justin Smith. Justin Smith and the 81 of McIntyre will almost trade some paint. Everybody gets it settled out as they work in the turn number 4. Everybody getting it settled out around the Thompson Speedways. Now Matt Eddy is going to work to the outside. Jimmy McIntyre stuck to the bottom of the racetrack, down in no man's land, trying to find a home on the outside, has not been able to do so. AJ Hamill now working to the outside. Here as we go in car with the Hall sheet metal onboard camera and AJ Hamill's automobile. Right there behind the number 7 of Matt Body as they work around the outside of Jimmy McNair down the backstretch. Right now, AJ Hamill, your hard charger, or Bill Martin now your hard charger. He's up 9 positions from his 15th starting spot. He's putting pressure on the backside of the 88. One car going around up here. That is your race leader. Andy Lambert has gone around. Let's see what has happened to the 8 Vermont of Lambert. And Joe Schaefer in trouble as well. Schaefer getting it pointed back in the right direction. Let's see what happened to bring out our second yellow flag of the evening. Sam working here, Kevin Dillon in there as well. Schaefer down low. They work down the back stretch into the corner. Oh, contact between the 8, 3 of your contenders. Heavy contact down here in the turn number 3. Let's take another look at it here from up above the car here. With our drone cam down the back stretch, you see him working. Down here, oh, Lambert looks like he came down a little bit as Schaefer was going up. Kevin Dillon, heavy front end damage. The 5 of Tully also involved. Let's go on board off the roof camera. The Dr. Noise Custom Graphics and Diecast onboard camera with Tully. See, Andy just comes down. Heavy contact to the right door as Tully just rifled him. Nothing he could have done. The number 5 of Craig Tully. Andy Lambert still sits down on pit road down here as the field paces around, as that will give the race lead to the 45 of Justin Smith. So 3 of our race contenders involved in that one. Andy Lambert was leading it. Joe Schaefer involved along with the 26 of Kevin Dillon and the 5 of Craig Tully involved. All drivers going to get back out onto the racetrack, it looks like, as they work down here in the turn number 1. You see Andy Lambert, heavy left side damage. He works around the 71 of Watkins. Watkins down 1 lap to your race leaders. Travis Wright also back out onto the racetrack. He is down 3 in the arrears to your race leaders. Not sure what happened. Justin Smith is your race leader. He will control the field off of turn number 4 next time by. He's got the driver out of Michigan to his outside in the Howe Racing Eddie Performance number 88. Then it's the NARF.org number 39 of Bill Martin, the driver out of Wisconsin. Finished up in the podium in second spot 1 week ago at the Stafford Motor Speedway, home of the SKs. And outside of him, the number 7 of Matt Vaughty. That's your top 2 rows. They work off the corner. Number 4, ready for a green flag, and Justin Smith ready to go. So was the Matt Eddy. Eddy with a great launch down here to turn number 1. Matt Eddy going to work into the race lead. Can Smith get up? Vaughty's going to fill the hole before he can do so to roar down the back stretch. Jeff Dillon in the 52 working out their contact between Vaughty and Smith. They're going to be 3 wide. Everybody doing evasive driving. Bill Martin gets into the grass. He gets out of shape. Here comes Andy Lambert all the way back up inside the top 10. He brings in tow the 26 of Kevin Dillon as they work down the back stretch. Everybody jostling for position off of turn number 4. And Jimmy McIntyre still runs down low. And here comes Mike Holtzclaw. Mike Holtzclaw trying to work to the outside of the 26 of the decals by Dillon, number 26 of Kevin Dillon. Couldn't quite do anything with him as Andy Lambert and Jimmy McIntyre will do battle down turn number 3. McIntyre has to get on the binders and he'll give up some positions, but a good drag race back down here to turn number 1. Lambert clears him. Now here comes Dillon onto the outside. Meanwhile, up front, Matt Eddy has opened up a half a second gap back to the number 7 of Vaughty, who has also brought the 52 of Dillon along with him. And how about this? Joe Schaefer all the way back to 4th after being involved in that latest yellow flag. We saw this driver, he went for a spin early on in the race. John McIntyre all the way back in the 5th. So nice rebound for the 0-2 of McIntyre out of Boonville, New York. Schaefer works up the racetrack trying to get around the number 52. Couldn't quite do it. Is now Justin Smith starting to feel the back pressure of the 39 of Bill Martin. Took a peek to the outside to get around people here at the Thompson Speedway. Now McIntyre going to take a bit down low off of turn number 2. Down the back stretch, it'll be the 0-2 of John McIntyre trying to make it inside the top 4 as your top 7 cars underneath the blanket. Lap laps clicking off very quickly here tonight at the Thompson Speedway as we are working lap number 30 as Matt Eddy's starting to feel the pressure from Vaughty. Here comes Jeff Dillon. Dillon takes a peek down to the inside. This might be what Joe Schaefer needed. Schaefer gets to the outside. Can he make it stick in the turn number 1? He'll work the outside groove and carry the momentum. New third place driver, the driver out of Wisconsin, the 6 of Joe Schaefer. Matt Vaughty trying to figure out how to put that Ford Thunderbird into the lead, and now he's got contention behind him of the Ford Mustang of Schaefer. Justin Smith running door to door now down the back stretch as they enter turn number 3. Bill Martin's going to go to the inside. Smith up the racetrack. He'll get out of the groove and into the marbles, and that'll allow the 18 of AJ Hamill to get on by as well. So now Smith back to your 8th spot as he'll settle back in front of the 8 of Andy Lambert. Kevin Dillon runs 10th, then Mike Holtzclaw is 11th. Craig Tully in the 12th spot, and Jimmy McIntyre running in your 13th spot. Doug Wasaki in car number 34, the driver out of Michigan, is your last car on the lead lap in the 14th spot. Jeremy Watkins runs 15th, and then Travis Wright, as yellow flag comes out, as your race leader is sitting sideways off of turn number 2. So trouble for the number 88 of Matt Eddy, as he was your race leader. Let's take a look and see what happened to the Eddy Performance Solution number 88. Matt Vaughty down to the inside, down here to turn number 1. Eddy up the, looks like Vaughty caught a loose, and they make contact, and around goes the 88. Everybody doing a good job to get by. A slight contact with the 05 of Tully on the left rear of that number 88, but everybody's going to get on by with a tough break for the 88 of Tully. Or not a Tully, of Eddy. So we come back live now. You see Matt Eddy is still out on the racetrack, but that gives the race lead to the number 6 of Joe Schaefer. Well, we got to take a moment. We want to thank you guys for tuning on into the Espresso Super Series presented by the Coffee Cup Racing League. It is brought to you tonight by Dr. Noise Custom Graphics and Diecast, Hall Sheet Metal, Misfit Motorsports, Empire Racing Team, Arts Barbershop, and Eddy Performance Solutions.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back. The field charts to double up as we look high from the Hall Sheet Metal Blimp Cam here tonight at the Thompson Motor Speedway. And we welcome you back in. Here is the field. Full pace off of turn number 4. We get ready to go back green flag racing in a chain of events where we've had 2 yellow flags here tonight where your race leader was involved. Right now your current race leader is Joe Schaefer. He was going for the race lead when him and the number 8 Vermont of Andy Lambert had made contact. Green flag back out. They roar down the back stretch, or down the front stretch here in turn number 1. Schaefer with a great launch. That's going to bring the 52 of Jeff Dillon along with him. Outside now, good battle for your number 3 spot as John McNair works to the inside of the racetrack. A.J. Hamill now slides to the outside as he will take a clip off the 0-2 down in front there to just clip him at the line. A.J. Hamill up to that 4th spot. McNair battling back on the inside. Justin Smith runs in your number 4 or 6 spot here, 1 spot outside of the top 5, and Craig Tilley making a run towards the front after having some front end damage in the earlier yellow flag. To the field now, single files themselves out as they work off the turn number 2 down the backstretch. Schaefer leads it, half second over Jeff Dillon. Bill Martin runs in the 3rd spot for the GSM Racing entry 1 and 3 here tonight as they enter down here in the turn number 1. A.J. Hamill runs in that 4th spot. McIntyre still runs in your number 5 spot as they work down the back stretch. A little bit deeper on Kevin Dillon, starting to put the pressure to Yeti's Meat Market number 81. He will slide him up in front of him off of turn number 4. And that's how you make passes here at the Thompson Speedway. Back here a little bit further, Mike Holzclaw working with the 7 of Matt Vaughty. Vaughty in that DV8 bowling, flow bowling entry number 7 works down to the inside. Bill trying to slide up in front of the driver out of Kingsport, Tennessee, and he will do so. Early race leader, the number 88 of Matt Eddy, trying to figure out which lane to go with as he works behind the 22 of Holzclaw. He's got Andy Lambert right there in his back pocket as well. Dillon making a charge back towards the front. Now he works underneath the inside of the number 26 down the back stretch of the 45 of Justin Smith. This is the battle for 6 up the racetrack. Maybe trying almost some contact there off the turn number 4. Dillon going to have the momentum though as he will take over that 6 spot. So Justin Smith back to your 7th position as they work off of turn number 4. Schaefer still out front though as they work down here down the front stretch. And in the turn number 1, Schaefer stretching out as Jeff Dillon and Bill Martin are nose to tail. We go on board with the Dr. Noise Custom Wraps and Diecast with Dr. Noise himself, Bill Martin, trying to figure out a way to get by this 52 of Jeff Dillon. Everybody working around the racetrack. A.J. Hamill has separated himself from the 26 of Kevin Dillon. Kevin Dillon has come down pit road. Last down on pit road was lap 37 as they just get the halfway point. So let's do your field run through. Up at the front of this one, Joe Schaefer is your race leader. Running second is Jeff Dillon in that number 52. He is up 12 positions from his starting spot of 14. Driver right behind him also up 12 positions as he came from the 15th spot as Bill Martin runs in the 3rd spot. 4th spot is A.J. Hamill. He is up 8 spots. And right behind him, the Kevin Dillon is the number 26, rounding out your top 5. Running 6 is the 02 of John McIntyre. Right behind him, the 45 of Justin Smith. Matt Vaughty starting to make his way back towards the front as he works underneath the 5 of Tully down the backstretch. So Matt Vaughty back to 8th, Tully back to 9th. 10th spot is Jimmy McNair in car number 81. 11th spot is the 88 of Matt Eddy. And rounding out the 12th position will be the number 8 Vermont of Andy Lambert. Mike Holtzclaw is 13th. He's had an up and down night. Started on the front row and had a little bit of trouble on the front row, able to get it there as we got smoked. It looks like McIntyre off the racetrack, so the 81 of McIntyre getting into trouble. We'll take a look at that. Doug Wasaki runs in 13th, and Jeremy Watkins rounds out the cars on the lead lap. Travis Wright is on the racetrack 3 laps down as he works there in front of the 81. Let's take a look and see what happened. And no much looks like the 81 of McIntyre just got loose. And his car down in the grass mowing a little bit. He gets back on track to come back to a live picture of Travis Wright, and your race leader is the number 6 of Dylan. He has stretched it out to 0.6 of a second over Dylan. Is now Bill Martin up the racetrack. He loses some ground to the 52 of Jeff Dillon. Kevin Dillon has made his way around the number 18 of A.J. Hamill. So Hamill rides in the 5th spot, and then it's a great 3-car battle for the 6th spot. John McIntyre starting to fall back in the clutches of that 45 Camaro of Justin Smith, with the 7 of Matt Vaughty all over his back bumper, and Craig Tully part of this battle as well. Everybody doing a great job here as they work down to the turn number 1. You see Smith goes to the inside. That allows the number 7 of Vaughty to get to his outside. So move Vaughty up to spot number 7 in car number 7. Here comes Tully. He'll fill the outside void as well as they come off turn number 4. Side by side drag race into turn number 3. As Smith and Tully down here in the turn number 1. Smith will give way and slide back into the 8th position. As now Matt Vaughty is going to go to the inside of McIntyre in the turn number 3. Vaughty might have some fresher tires as they did have a set of tires in the pits to use here tonight as he's working his way back up through the field. This battle is almost 8 seconds behind your race leader. And now Vaughty going to cut to the inside of John McIntyre down here to turn number 1. Vaughty going to try to slide up, can't quite do it. This time off of turn number 2. Vaughty going to throw it in deep, trying to clear him. Does not, as he's back there, rolls the outside. This time off turn number 4, Vaughty has it. We'll see how fast he can break away. Vaughty, one of the quicker cars on the racetrack. Last time by, A.J. Hamill was the fastest car on the racetrack, running a 20.17. Starts to close it back in as he rides in spot number 5. Kevin Dillon starting to reel in on your top 3 drivers as Bill Martin still runs in that 3rd spot, trying to find out a way to get by that Washington Capitals number 52 of Jeff Dillon. Everybody doing a great job here. As we take a look at the racing action from high above here. Good battle is now the 5 of Tully going to try to get underneath the number 02 of McIntyre. Smith going to try as well. So John McIntyre came up through the field good. Now on this long run, starting to slide back just a little bit as we work lap number 66, or working lap 67, the leaders is. Well, these guys battled up. That means the Eddie Performance number 88 in the 8 Vermont Priority Auto entry of Andy Lambert. They are doing battle. Lambert's going to throw it in deep down to the inside. Eddie up the racetrack. Eddie with the momentum on the outside. He'll hold court down here in turn number 1. Now Lambert back to the inside. Can he make it stick off of turn number 4 this time? He cannot. Eddie's going to hold on to the position. This is the battle for 10th. Lambert back to the inside now as they work off a turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Lambert slides it down in, underneath him on the inside, can't make it stick with the momentum off turn number 4 for Eddie. But great battles with multiple grooves of racing happening here. Lambert down to the inside off the corner. You see him right there coming up in there, cuts it back in line. He'll dive it back down low as they battle this one out though. And they are lost contact a little bit with the drivers in front of them. As Matt Eddy runs in the 10th spot. Justin Smith starting to try to figure out a way around the number 02 of McIntyre. Kevin Dillon has gotten around the number 39 of Bill Martin here with coming closer to the 25 laps to go mark. As Bill Martin has fallen back to the 4th spot. AJ Hamill still 5th. 6th spot is Matt Vaughty. 7th spot belongs to the number 5 of Craig Tully out of Porters Lake, Nova Scotia. And the Romer Brothers Racing entry. He just smacked the wall off turn number 4. Johnny McIntyre out of Boonville trying to hold off the driver out of Wilton, New York. The Battle of New York right here down the backstretch in the turn number 3. Chevy versus Ford. Right now the Ford out in front of the Chevy. Andy Lambert has gotten by the 88 of Matt Eddy. This is how it was done here as we got 25 laps to go. See him down the front stretch here in turn number 1. Lambert's going to really dive it down low. He will slide up and take the line away from Eddy. Eddy tries to do the crossover move but was unable to do so. That is how Andy Lambert has gotten around Matt Eddy for the 10th position. Joe Schaefer though closing in on the backside of the field as we go on board with the Dr. Noise Custom Graphics and Diecast on board. You see the number 22 of Mike Holtzclaw right there in front of your race leader as they work off turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Great battle for this number 8 spot now as here comes the 45 of Justin Smith. He's got it tuned up underneath him. Drag race down the long straightaway here at the Thompson Speedway. Smith drives it in a little bit deep, washes up. Here comes the 8 Vermont of Andy Lambert. It's a 3-car battle for 8 as Justin Smith and John McIntyre have been battling it out lap after lap, trying to figure out who wants to hold on to the 8th spot. Here comes the 8 Vermont of Andy Lambert. He works to the outside of Justin Smith. Smith had to back out of it. As now Lambert will take over the 9th spot. As these 3 cars battle, that is all Matt Eddy and the 81 of McIntyre to close in on them as they work through turns 1 and 2. Smith working the bottom of the racetrack, Eddy on the outside. So Matt Eddy now has got that Eddy Performance Solution number 88 wound up, trying to make a bid for your top 10 once again. 20 laps to go, not sure where the time went. 19 to go that time at the stripe for your race leader of Joe Schaefer with a 1.6 second lead over Dillon. Is now Lambert going to try to cut it underneath the number 02 of John McIntyre. McIntyre doing a great job. Is Justin Smith now under attack from the 88 of Eddy and Jimmy McIntyre in that fray. So it's a 5-car battle for the top 8 positions down here into the corner. Andy Lambert now trying to make his way by the 02 of Johnny McIntyre. McIntyre runs to that 8th spot. As of Lambert would like to take it from him. has got to get on the horse and start whipping it. Is your race leader going to come into heavy lap traffic? Joe Schaefer has almost a 1 3/4 second lead over second place, so he doesn't really have to push the issue as he sees these guys really racing and dicing it up here as they battle for 8th. The battle shaping up for that fist by Matt Vaughty, trying to hold off A.J. Hamill as A.J. Hamill runs in the 6th spot. Now as Craig Tully runs 7th, but back to this battle as they enter the corner. Andy Lambert down to the inside of McIntyre. John McIntyre works the outside of the racetrack. He'll get a little bit loose. That allows Andy Lambert with great forward drive. It scrapes the back wall. Now the 45 of Justin Smith will go to the inside. He pushes up 3 wide off of turn number 4. Will they make it stick? Someone to do. Oh, Justin Smith up and over on the front stretch. They came off the corner 3 wide. And right in front of your race leader as Justin Smith goes for a wild ride down the front stretch. As the real estate got real tight off of turn number 4. And we are slowed with 13 laps to go. Your race leaders did not want to see that one happen. Let's watch that one back again. They go out the corner, see him 3 wide. Matt Eddy down low. Justin Smith washes up the racetrack. 0-2 of John McIntyre up there. They just make contact and hook them both drivers hard into the inside wall or outside wall. Let's watch it back one more time. We'll go on board with the driver cam or onboard camera off the corner. Helpless feeling there as the lead. Everybody gets on by. Let's go here. We'll go with the number 6 and Joe Schaefer to see his vantage point. So I'm getting out of the gas, trying to work by those guys as they were wrecking. So a tough break there for the number 45 of Justin Smith. Was running inside the top 10 and up and over he went. As your race leader is the 6 of Joe Schaefer. That's going to allow the 52 of Jeff Dillon in there. A little bit of strategy being played out right now as the 18 of A.J. Hamill comes down for some pit work along with the 88 of Matt Eddy. They were on pit road long enough where they might have gotten some tires. We'll see if it makes a difference here. We want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching the Espresso Super Series. We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast, brought to you by the boss man here, Al Smith, up in the tower, making the calls. I want to thank everybody at the Turn 3 Racing Network behind the scenes to make it all possible each week and weekend. But if you're new to if you're new to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified every time the Espresso Super Series will go live on Wednesday nights here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As the lights have gone out, we're going to go back green flag racing. It's going to be an 8-lap shootout. Joe Schaefer and Jeff Dillon up on the front row. Then it's Kevin Dillon and Bill Martin in row number 2. Craig Tully, Matt Vaughty making up row number 3. John McIntyre, Andy Lambert in row number 4. And Matt Eddy and A.J. Hamill with fresh tires. They'll hit the loud pedal and we're back underway. 3 wide down here in the corner as they all spread them out wide through that corner. 2 by 2 by 2 down the back stretch. They will come. As Tully now into that number 3-4 spot. And he's bringing that number 26 coming down. Here comes A.J. Hamill and Matt Eddy. Remember, they have fresher tires here with 7 laps to go. How far up can A.J. Hamill cut through the field in the Arts Barber Shop? Number 18, he'll work underneath number 7 of Matt Vaughty down the backstretch. And into turn number 3. 88 of Eddy works the in there. Tully gets a little bit silent. That stacks the field up. We're going to go 3 wide down the front stretch. A.J. Hamill, the Green Mountain Madman, working the outside of the racetrack in the 18 New York. Down the backstretch, he's up to your 6th spot. Can he get by Vardy for 5th? Down to the inside, A.J. Hamill will go. He cuts it like a knife through butter off of turn number 4. A.J. Hamill making short work with just 5 laps to go. Does he have enough time to get to Kevin Dillon? That would be for 4th. They work down the backstretch. Vardy going to take a peek down to the inside. Can't make a mistake there. Is now Matt Eddy's going to roll to the outside. 4 laps to go at the line. 3-car breakaway up at the front of this one. Now A.J. Hamill's going to roll to the middle of the racetrack. He'll get to the inside. Off of turn number 4. He'll come. Can he make a move on Kevin Dillon? Off of turn number Dillon up the racetrack. And A.J. Hamill cut by him down the front stretch. Down here, the turn number 1, they will go. A.J. Hamill works the inside. He'll wash up the racetrack. He'll take away the 4th spot from Kevin Dillon. Yellow flag coming out as A.J. Hamill will have overtime here in this event. The 0-2 of John McIntyre has brought out the yellow flag as we are slowed and we are going to go to overtime. What a barn burner this one is. Let's see what happened to McIntyre off a turn number 4. Down the front stretch, you see him coming. Oh, he just got the outside wall. And right up in front of Andy Lambert, and around he will go. Easy contact down in the turn number 1. As McIntyre gets it pointed back in the right direction, we come back live. Oh boy, is this one gonna be a barn burner here. You have Joe Schaefer here on as your race leader. See him working the tires down the backstretch as Doug Wazaki is gonna get the whole sheet metal freeze pass. So Wazaki back on the lead lap. He'll round out your 13 cars. Justin Smith is taking the 45 after his vicious ride down the front stretch behind the wall. Jeremy Watkins also out, along with Travis Wright. So 3 cars have retired here tonight. Lambert's coming into pit road. The Joe Schaefer up on the front of this one. Jeff Dillon will be in spot number 2. Then it's the 39 of Bill Martin. Those 3 drivers have been on the same tire since the green flag has dropped. Then it's the Green Mountain Madman, A.J. Hamill. He currently runs in that 4th spot. The driver out of Mooresville, Vermont. He rides in spot number 4, and he's got some 4 Mr. Feelgoods on that Ford. Can he get it done? Right behind him, there'll be the number 26 of Kevin Dillon. He currently rides in that 5th spot. Matt Eddy also on the same tire strategy as Hamill. So they will both start on the outside, which has been the preferred line here tonight at the Thompson Race Speedway. In 7th is the Eddie's Meat Market, number 81, Jimmy McIntyre. Right outside of his right pocket will be the Flow Bowling of DV8, number 7 of Matt Vaughty. And Vaughty coming into the night's event, sitting 4th in the standings as the lights go out around the speedway. Pace car will go into the pits this time. And the field will be in the hands of the number 6 of Joe Schaefer. Jeff Dillon up on the front row as well. 3 laps to go. Who's it going to be, ladies and gentlemen? We'll find out off of turn number 4 as the field comes down the front stretch. Green flag is up. We're back underway. Bill Martin works down to the inside of that number 52. Off of the corner here, A.J. Hamill now side by side. His yellow flag is going to come out. Was Hamill in front of the 39 of Bill Martin. And that will be our final attempt there. So that'll pretty much end the race here tonight on Fan Appreciation Night by the Empire Racing Team. Joe Schaefer is going to pick up the win. Schaefer picks up the win as fireworks fire off the backstretch. Jeff Dillon is going to hold on to your number 2 spot. Third, unofficially, is going to go to Bill Martin. Fourth will go to AJ Hamill. As you see your unofficial results roll across the top of your screen there. There's your top 5. As the fireworks continue to blast off in the backstretch. As your race winner will pull down here onto the front stretch. Joe Schaefer gonna burn it down for us here with the Epic Media sponsored number 6. And as they get ready, we'll be right back for the Empire Racing Team's post-race show here on Fan Appreciation Night.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back to the Thompson Speedway, where Joe Schaefer just picked up the Empire Racing Team's Fan Appreciation Night here at the racetrack at Thompson, Connecticut. And we are down here on the front stretch with the number 6, Joe Schaefer. And Joe, talk us through that race. You had to start back in the 9th position. A little bit of contact early on with the 8 Vermont of Andy Lambert, and able to rebound and come back to pick up the win here tonight.
Well, first of all, I'm sorry to Andy. I was probably crowding him a little bit more than I needed to. Just knowing how hard it is to pass, I wasn't giving him a ton of room, and I should have known better. That's on me. I felt I deserved to go to the back for that, and that's where I ended up. So it was all luck. I mean, to get back to the front, it is so hard to pass here, and I was fortunate on the outside on one of those restarts, and then a couple of mistakes allowed me to capitalize around the outside. I will say I don't think I had the most raw pace tonight, though. Just looking at lap times on my relative through that long green flag run, Jeff was definitely faster than me. It seemed like his mistakes might have been just a little bit bigger than mine on the long run, and that allowed me to spread it out. But a couple more of those side-by-side restarts, one mistake, and I think he would have had me.
Yeah, talk about those restarts. How hairy were they? We saw you able once to control it there, but you had a few drivers behind you with fresher tires in the later stages. Were you a little bit worried there when we got into under 10 to go?
Well, I didn't actually know that there was fresh tires behind me until the very end, which is probably good. So I wasn't mirror driving. I was just focusing on picking up the throttle as soon as I could, right when that concrete patch ended in 4, and hoping not to spin the tires to get back into the lead. Even for that last dash to the end there, I found out that AJ and Matt Eddy had fresh tires behind me, but I knew if I could just get to the lead, it would probably be enough for 2 laps. Maybe not enough for 20, but for 2, I wasn't too worried about it.
Well, you come home here, you're going to pick up the win 2 weeks in a row. So, again, having fun out there with the Espresso Super Series and these super late models.
Yeah, we'll see how much my luck changes now when the handicap when I have 3 ones on my handicap for when it's reset. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm starting to enjoy driving this car. It was quite a learning curve for me to get into it, but I'm starting to get the feel for it, and I'm having fun.
Well, we'll let you go here. I know that you had a little business to take care of. Who makes it all possible for you to be here for the 3rd week in a row in Victory Lane?
Well, I think GSM Racing. 2 of my teammates are here, Bill and Matt Eddy. Always fun racing with them. Epic Media and Dr. Noise Custom Design and Diecast.
There you have it. There's your winner out of Sussex, Wisconsin. It is Joe Schaefer picking up the win in the hat track here tonight, or the hat trip, as he will pick up his 3rd straight win as he pulls away. And now we'll slide down here on the front stretch to the driver that was looking for the victory, the driver of the 52, Jeff Dillon. And Jeff, you ran a great race there. What else did you need out of this number 52 to get up there and battle the 6 of Schaefer?
I think the main thing was just to make less mistakes. Like Joe was talking about, I made a lot of mistakes tonight, and it cost me. But also I was getting pretty tight in the center. I'm sure everyone was, but plus I have a bad habit of driving in too deep. So when it's like tonight where it's tight in the center, it's not a good thing. So yeah, I was happy with it. I'm happy I could stay with him and hold off Bill. I was really happy about that. So yeah, all in all, it was a good night.
Talking about how tricky and difficult this Thompson Speedway is, we saw a lot of side-by-side racing here tonight, which I will admit was a little bit surprising. And we saw you in a couple battles of yourself side-by-side where that bottom line, you were able to make it work early on in this race. How good or how difficult was it making that inside line work on these restarts?
It was really tough. Start of the race was kind of hairy because the pace is a little bit slower at the start, so you can kind of hop down there and get lucky if someone gets loose or checks up. So, but like later in the race, I believe when Joe got around me is when Matt and the 45 are racing for the lead, and I drove to the inside of Matt, and then of course to get down there, it's even tighter down there on the bottom, and I got checked up, and that's how Joe got around me. But yeah, it's hard down there. I wish I could say it's better than it used to be, but still the outside lane is the way to go. Once you're single file, you can up and down and do things with the car, but yeah, restarts, it's tough.
Well, you come home with a 2nd place finish. Glad to see you back out on the racetrack. We know that you had a little bit of a medical procedure done, and we're glad you're able to slide down into the sim seat. Who makes it all possible for this number 52?
I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. It's cool to go back and watch it. Thank Matt, Kevin, Travis, the few teammates I still have out here, and all the other drivers in this league to make it so much fun to come here every Wednesday and run some short tracks.
Well, congratulations on your 2nd place finish here this week. And next week we head to 5 Flags, so we'll see you down in the state of Florida.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's Jeff Dillon coming home in that number 2 position, and that leaves only one more person to talk to in this field. Well, we all know this character out of Wisconsin. It's the 3rd place driver of the NARF.org, number 39, Bill Martin. Bill, 2nd last week, 3rd this week. What else did you need out of this 39 car to get up there and challenge Jeff and Joe for the win?
to stop sliding the tires every time I went into the turns. I didn't realize I was doing it till it was way too late, and my car started to suck, and I went backwards, and then Kevin came up, and I just let him go by. But then the restart kind of breathed a little life into the tires, and then Kevin spun his tires on the restart, so I was able to get back to third. But I was destined to go right back to fourth if the yellow didn't come back out, with AJ being on his fresh tires. But yellow came out, so suck it, AJ.
He definitely was coming up there. How nervous were you on the green-white checkered attempt there when we were coming to the green? You knew AJ and the 88 of Eddie both had fresher tires than the four of you guys up in front. Were you a little bit nervous on that restart?
I was not, because this is a track that if you're stuck on the bottom, you kind of just drive around down there and just end up where you end up. And as long as I finished the race, I was happy. I didn't have any expectations on any position to finish, because you don't really dictate the places that you finish this track. It usually dictates it for you. So any good number is a good number, I say.
Well, I'm going to say you and both Jeff came from the back of the pack, 14th and 15th respectfully, and you guys tied at being the hard charger of the race, up 12 positions. So how'd you make that happen?
Everybody else running into each other and spinning out was a lot of it. And then just being lucky on restarts, but being on the outside. Nothing special, just luck, especially luck for the restarts. Most of the passes are happening on green flags, and if you're on the outside, all you do is just barrel around the outside, because it's just a one-lane track, and the lane is the outside. So, luck. Hey, did I mention luck? It was luck.
So you're going to give luck the choice there. But, hey, I don't know if you've heard of this or not. Next week we had the Five Flags, and it's Dr. Noise Custom Paints and Diecast night down at the Five Flags Speedway. What's your outlook there?
I mean, I'm much better at that track than this one, because most of us don't race at Thompson anymore, because it never makes schedules for anything. So I didn't do a lot of practice. But Five Flags, we race at all the time, so I mean, that's a good thing. It's a good thing for me. I'm glad that I'm sponsoring that race and not Thompson. Boo. God, such a miserable track. It's not that miserable. I like racing around Thompson because it's a fun challenge. But the second you put other cars on the track, it's like, I like it. Can I go back to just driving it by myself? Because, you know, at least I can challenge myself to, like, beat my own times. Because when you're out there with other cars, the challenge is, will I finish the race, and will everybody else finish the race too? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. Maybe. Probably not.
Well, anyway, Bill, as always a pleasure. I got the smile from ear to ear when we get down here and talk to you on the front stretch. And, well, you've gone third, second, and now back to third. Maybe next week we'll see you in victory lane in this 39.
I'm going to spin Joe out if he's in the lead, so since I know that I'm not going to get penalized for it. I won't self-penalize myself if it's Joe, because I'll be doing everybody a favor. Screw that guy.
Well, he has 3 wins in a row, so I say maybe 3 in a row. It's 3. Tonight makes 3, sir.
I thought it was 2. Isn't it 2?
No, he won at Myrtle Beach on Dollar Hot Dog Night. He won last week at Stafford.
Oh, yeah.
All sheet metal night. So now it's 3. So maybe the Espresso coffee cup will be on the back bumper of that number 6 with the target on it next week at Five Flags.
I'm going to smash into it. If I don't hit him, I'll just pay someone else to do it for me if they're closer. Whatever. We're going to spin him out next week. Piece of crap.
You heard it here. The gauntlet has been set to Joe Schaefer from Bill Martin next week. But, Bill, before we let you go, who makes this all possible for you in this 39 car?
iRacing does, because it's not real. I'm hilarious. Good Lord. Thanks to my teammates for driving with me. Joe's one of them. So I probably won't really spin him out. I want to, but I won't do it. Someone else can do it for me. I'm counting on him. And then Matt Eddy's teammate. Love racing with Matt. Special thanks to NARF for not realizing that I put them on the side of my car to help their charity. And thanks for interviewing me. Hope you had a good time.
I did, as always. That is Bill Martin coming home in the 3rd place here tonight rounding out the podium position here in the Empire Racing Team's Fan Appreciation Night, as we will call this night a close, but let's not do that until we look at the unofficial results coming out of Thompson here presented by Empire Racing Team. Joe Schaefer Jr. picking up the win for the GSM Racing for the third straight week, a hat trick for the number 6, Joe Schaefer. Jeff Dillon came home second with Bill Martin. We just talked to them. One spot outside of a top 3 was A.J. Hamill with perfect pit strategy there, and he'll come home 4th as he was really on a move. Would like to see what would have happened if that yellow flag might have not come out. And Matt Eddy also rounding out your top 5. Kevin Dillon will come home in the 6th spot. 7th spot will go to Jimmy Mack there. Matt Vaude in 8th. Craig Tully and Andy Lambert rounding out your top 10. 11th spot went to John McIntyre. Doug Wasaki in car number 34 will come home 12th. Mike Holtzclaw in car number 22 will roll across the line in the 13th spot. Justin Smith will be your first car out of tonight's feature event in that car number 45. Outside of him, the 15 is the 71 of Jeremy Watkins. And Travis Wright rounding out your field here tonight at the Thompson Speedway. Next week, we head to the Sunshine State, down to the Five Flags Speedway for Dr. Noise Custom Paints and Diecasts. Night 100 laps on the card. We will see you next week from down there. And as always, my name is the boss man, Al Smith, and it's been a pleasure bringing tonight's all the action of the Coffee Cup Racing League here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Until next week, we will see you at the races.